Here's the skill testing question, kids. Drum roll. What is the Japanese term meaning a way of living that focuses on finding beauty within the imperfections of life and accepting peacefully the natural cycle of growth and decay? Spilling the tea on Japanese tea tasting is the subject of today's video. Welcome to drama class. Oops, I meant history class and or trivia night. I promise to make this fun, or at least attempt to in my very monotonic tone. Hey kids, welcome to FTFC's Kitchen Mishaps, and I am your host, CK, aka Straight Talkin' Fedora Chick. If you are new here, please consider subscribing and hit the ringy dingy icon below so you can get notifications every time I upload. Today's video, I am deviating somewhat from my usual content on this channel. For those of you who are new or returning, please let me know in the comments if you would like to see more of such content. You know, fun food and drink facts. Okay, onwards with the show. Several weeks ago, I had my first experience at a Japanese tea tasting event. Well, any tea tasting event for that matter. And I wanted to share that experience with you through some of the pictures and short video clips. But first I thought some trivia fun with a brief history on Japanese tea ceremonies would be in order. Before I go on, just to let you know, I will be returning to my normal content on this channel, which is of course food reviews and cooking shows, all things vegan naturally. Usually, traditional Japanese tea ceremonies are more about the aesthetics, the customs, than the actual drinking of tea and having snacks that go with it. It is actually a choreographed event. I know the title of this video partially says spilling the tea, but no, we're not really going to do that. Green tea was first grown in China since the 4th century. The Japanese did not grow tea until 2 centuries later when the Chinese brought the first seeds. This was during the Tang Dynasty, which was about from 618 AD to 907 AD. Apparently, the first tea ceremony ever heard of was in the 8th century. It was at that time that in 8th century, Buddhist monk Aichu served tea to the Emperor Saga, who was ruling Japan at the time. It is said that sometime during the 12th century, upon a return trip from China, a monk known as Ise is believed to have demonstrated a particular method of brewing tea, as well as the usage of matcha, which we know today as that green powdered tea, by mixing water and powder into a bowl. From then on, tea rituals became the norm pretty much amongst Buddhist monks. Fast forward to the 13th century, tea became somewhat of a status symbol in Japan. There would be tea contests where winners would win prizes. Get out that rice-a-roni, kids. Anyways, fast forward once again to the 16th century. Sen no Rikyu, simply known as Rikyu, the greatest tea master, invented a new style of tea ceremonies known as wabi-sabi, which is basically a worldview centered around the acceptance of transience, imperfect, not permanent, and incomplete. To quote the definition from the Collins Dictionary online, a way of living that focuses on finding beauty within the imperfections of life and accepting peacefully the natural cycle of growth and decay. Anyway, Rikyu's idea was to have the guests feel comfortable by avoiding many of the rigid trappings of the traditional tea ceremony, loosening of the rules, if you will. With this new tea ceremony, it is traditional that the host prepare the tea as well as the different sweet snacks to complement many of the teas which can be quite bitter, Not only does the host oversee the preparation of the food and tea, but also the furniture, artwork, and teacups. Riku wrote a book called Southern Record, where he not only explained his knowledge of tea, but also his idea that a meeting should always be treasured because it is a unique occasion that can never be reproduced. Yep, that is so true. I wonder how many of us actually think of that. Hmm. Leave your leave your thoughts in the comment box if you wish. Following Riku's death, 3 schools were founded based on his teachings about tea. Apparently, all 3 of these tea schools are still in existence to this day. A formal Japanese tea ceremony is still almost emphasizes more on the aesthetics and traditions than with the actual tea and food served. There are plenty of more resources online, and I will link to some of my sources below in the description box if you want more details. Now, on to my own experience with my very first tea tasting event of any kind. This took place several weeks ago at the Salon du The Oasis at 1460A, Jean Talon East, right near Fob Metro, the west exit, almost across from the Jean Talon Hospital. This event was not only nearly as formal as what a Japanese tea ceremony would suggest. The tables were set up in a square-like fashion, with the display of the teas to be tasted and the tools to make them. Yes, the host made each and every tea in front of us while explaining the origins of each and such. It should be added that most, if not all, the teas we tasted won various awards around the world. Another thing that surprised me was that we were using wine glasses instead of traditional china teacups to taste our teas from. A glass of water for everyone was also at hand, of course, to cleanse the palate, with the co-hostess coming around each of our place settings often to refill water glasses and rinsing our wine and matcha glasses after each round of tasting. Some of the people there, it was quite obvious that they attended such events often, or at least this was not their first go-around. Some remind me of Fraser and Niles Crane at their snooty wine tastings, just by their mannerisms. I kind of felt like a fish out of water, but went along with the fun. Most were green teas, but there was one with fermented whole leaves. I forget what it was called, and kids, the price tag, $40 for 20 grams, kind of like the champagne of teas. The price is pretty steep. No pun intended. Here's a picture right here. There was also one red tea that we tasted. Again, I forget the names of most of these teas. Some of them might be indicated on the in the pictures here. But yeah, there was one red tea, and that was actually pretty good. I did learn interesting ways of brewing tea from the host, which I should try at home the next time I get loose leaf tea. He prepared the teas on what looked like a French coffee press, and he would start off by putting in a small quantity of hot water for the first few minutes or so, and then would add a little by little a few more times incrementally. I forgot how many times exactly. Sorry, I'm having an issue with short-term memory as of late. Many of the teas we tasted won awards around the world, as mentioned. As well, they are not produced or sold in many places, hence that would hike up the price tag. As such, it would be, yeah, prohibitively expensive for most folks. As far as I can tell, all the teas we tasted are sold at Salon du The Oasis. Our hosts were sure to have almond milk on hand, as there were other vegans, such as myself, along with a few who were lactose intolerant. In fact, the host said that the matchas were better with almond milk rather than cow's milk. We had both hot and cold matcha served to us. I think I prefer the cold, though. So, of course, since traditional hosts of Japanese tea tastings, however informal as this one was, they would want to put their best foot forward in serving these products like the matchas. Not to mention, they do want to sell their products. There were 3 different kinds of matcha, including one that was brown in color rather than the vibrant green that we're all used to. With the almond milk, it tasted much like chocolate milk, though a little less sweet. It could be a healthier way to get your chocolate milk fix, except it would be also more expensive. I would have liked to have seen more traditional snacks served with the teas. The only edibles offered were a matcha shortbread cookie, which unfortunately was not vegan. It was made with real butter. There was also some soft candy of sorts, for lack of a better term, as you can see. They came in several different pastel colors, and they were sort of springy in texture, almost like a marshmallow. That was vegan, and it was okay, a little too sweet, but it was okay. We did taste from brewed tea leaves from one of the more expensive teas we tasted. I was told by the host about $100 per 100 grams. According to the host, it would be a good sauteed with ponzu sauce. Anybody wanting to know what ponzu sauce is? No, not ponzu scheme. Go to my Fiddling with Fiddlehead cooking video link in the info card above, as well as a link will be in end screens. Overall, a fun learning experience. I would definitely attend another tea tasting, Japanese or otherwise. As for the Salon du The Oasis, give it a whirl, boys and girls. Again, at 1460 A, Jean Talon East near Fob Metro, the west exit. Although expensive and perhaps out of the way for many, give it a shot. The folks over there are very knowledgeable of their products and would explain things well to you. Tea connoisseurs, I believe, would be in for a treat. They would have selections not offered necessarily by your local Teavana, David's Tea, or Starbucks, or any other major tea or coffee outlet. That's just about going to do it for here, boys and girls. We did answer the trivia question in the middle of the video, but we'll do it again now. The answer to the trivia question off the top. As a reminder, here was that question again. A way of living that focuses on finding beauty within the imperfections of life and accepting peacefully the natural cycle of growth and decay? That answer, of course, was Wabi Sabi. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, boys and girls, if you'd like to see more of this type of content on this channel, please let me know in comments below. Also, please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe as well as hit the ringy-dingy icon below so you can receive a notification every time I upload. Take care of yourselves and each other. Straight Talk and Fedora Chick over and out.